Students, welcome to the online class once more. Today we are going to start a new story, that is The Bond of Love by Kenneth Anderson. Before we go to the story, there are a few points given in the book. Let us read out them and understand. So let me read out. Before you read, point number 1, can there be love and friendship between human beings and wild animals? Let's read a fascinating account of an orphaned sloth bear that was rescued by the author. So, students, the first point is very important. It's a big question there. Can there be love and friendship between human beings and wild animals? Yes, there can be a relationship of love and friendship between human beings and wild animals. The condition is that we must express it. It needs time, it needs feelings, it needs an environment. Otherwise, wild animals are considered as very dangerous and ferocious. Even then, wild animals have love and can be friends of human beings. So now we get to know that the story is about an orphaned sloth bear. Now, what is a sloth bear? It is a bear species found in Indian subcontinent. It feeds on fruits, ants, and termites. So it is mostly black in color. And this bear was rescued by the author. And now let's move to the second point. Sloth bears inhabit forested areas, including the tropical rainforests of India and grasslands at lower elevations. Sloth bears have very saggy hair and long muzzles. Using their claws to dig, they can then use their lips to form a tube which can go deep into the ground or into hard to reach areas like dead trees for their food. Their main food is termites. You can hear them suck up their food from several feet away. So, students, in the second point, much is given about a sloth bear. Now, the words shaggy and muzzles. Shaggy means with long and thick hair, and muzzle is that part of the face which includes the mouth and the nose. So, a sloth bear is a bear species that is mostly found in Indian subcontinent and that feeds on termites mostly. And that is why it is helped by the long muzzle to get into deep holes or parts of trees to suck the termites. Let us now move to the paragraphs of the story. Paragraph 1. I will begin with Bruner, my wife's pet sloth bear. I got him for her by accident. Students, these are the two beginning lines of the story, and it is also an introduction to the story. Here, the writer is in first person, that is I. So, we must say that the narrator is the writer and the narration is in first person, I. And here the writer says that he got a sloth bear for his wife, but not in a usual manner, but by accident. That means all of a sudden without any prior knowledge. Next lines of the same paragraph. 2 years ago, we were passing through the sugarcane fields near Mysore. People were driving away the wild pigs from the fields by shooting at them. Some were shot and some escaped. We thought that everything was over when suddenly a black sloth bear came out panting in the hot sun. So, students, it is a story that takes the readers to Mysore, a city in southern India. So the writer says that 2 years back he was passing through a sugarcane field in Mysore, and the people there in that particular area were busy driving away the wild pigs that used to destroy their agricultural fields by shooting at them. Some of the pigs were shot and some were able to escape. But something strange happened there. All of a sudden, from somewhere, a black sloth bear came out panting. Now, panting means when one takes quick breath, that means breathing fast. So maybe that sloth bear was also frightened and it was running for its life, and it came out panting under the hot sun. Next paragraph. Now I will not shoot at sloth bear wantonly, but unfortunately for the poor beast, one of my companions did not feel that way about it and promptly shot the bear on the spot. Here, students, the word wantonly, wantonly, wantonly means for no good reason. That means without any good reason. Here, in this paragraph, the writer says that the bear came out, but he didn't want to shoot it because there was no good reason for him to shoot a bear. But before he could express his idea to his friend had already shot down that bear on the spot. Next paragraph. As we watched the fallen animal, we were surprised to see that the black fur on its back moved and left prostrate body. Then we saw it was a baby bear that had been riding on its mother's back when suddenly the shot had killed her. The little creature ran around its prostrate parent, making a pitiful noise. Explanation. When the bear was shot down on the spot by one of the friends of the writer, the bear fell on the ground prostrate. Now, here, prostrate means lying straight on the belly against the ground. So the bear fell on its belly against the ground. But something strange happened here also. The black fur at the back of the bear moved a little, and it was a surprising sight. A baby bear came out of it and started running around in fear and making some pitiful noise. So, students, we get to know that the bear which was shot down had a baby at the back of it. The baby was alive and the bear was killed. Next paragraph. I ran up to it to attempt a capture. It scooted into the sugarcane field. Following it with my companions, I was at last able to grab it by the scruff of its neck, while it snapped and tried to scratch me with its long, hooked claws. So, students, as soon as the baby bear started running, the writer and his friends also started running and following it. But it ran away. Scooted means ran away. It ran away into the sugarcane field, and the writer tried to grab it. That means tried to make a tight hold of it by the scruff. Scruff here means the thick hair around the neck. And when it was caught, the baby bear was frightened and tried to harm the writer with its long and hooked claws. Claw, the nails of an animal, they are called claws. The next paragraph. We put it in one of the gunny bags we had brought, and when I got back to Bangalore, I duly presented it to my wife. She was delighted. She at once put a collar ribbon around its neck, and after discovering the cub was a boy, she christened it Bruno. Students, gunny bag. Gunny bag is a big bag with a big mouth made from jute. So, when the writer went back to Bangalore, he presented this beautiful baby bear to his wife. And his wife was very much excited to get this baby. She was delighted and she put a colored ribbon around the neck of that baby bear and gave a name to it. Christened. Christened means to give a name. Christened that bear Bruno. B-R-U-N-O. Bruno. So let's move to the next paragraph. Bruno soon took to drinking milk from a bottle. It was but a step further, and within a few days he started eating and drinking everything else. Everything is the right word, for he ate porridge made from any ingredients, vegetables, fruit, nuts, meat, especially pork, curry, and rice, regardless of condiments and chilies. Bread, eggs, chocolates, sweets, pudding, ice cream, etc., etc., etc. As for drink, milk, tea, coffee, lime juice, aerated water, buttermilk, beer, alcoholic liquor, and in fact anything liquid. It all went down with relish. So, students, it's a very interesting, of course, funny paragraph. Bruno at first started drinking milk from bottle, but as days went on, it started drinking and eating almost everything. He started eating things like porridge. Porridge is a food item made from milk and rice, vegetables, fruits, nuts, and even meat. Then he used to eat curry, rice, regardless of any condiments. Condiments means spices. He used to take bread, eggs, chocolates, pudding, ice creams, etc. That means he ate almost all the things that human beings could. And he drank a lot of drinks. He used to drink milk, tea, coffee, lime juice, and aerated water. Aerated water is a very soft drink which has carbonate in it. And it was strange that Bruner could also drink alcoholic liquid. So that was a long list of Bruno's food items. Next paragraph. The bear became very attached to our two Alsatian dogs and to all the children of the tenants living in our bungalow. He was left quite free in his younger days and spent his time in playing, running into the kitchen, and going to sleep in our beds. So, students, we get to know in this paragraph that the writer had two Alsatian dogs also, and Bruno was a good friend to these dogs. Bruno was small and it was more or less friend to the children of the tenants living in the bungalow of the writer. Bruno was left very carefree, that means very independent, during his younger days. Bruno used to spend his time in playing, running from here and there, running into the kitchen, and sleeping with its masters. So, students, we have nearly completed 7 paragraphs of this story. I think we should stop here for today. It's a very interesting story. You will find a lot more as we move on in our next class. So, for today, let me stop it here. Take care of yourself till the next class. It's bye from me.